Welcome back guys. In this class we are going to discuss about the data types in Python and what is their role in Python language. So variable actually have a type which defines the way it is stored. So the type of data depends on the type of value. So the value which is stored in the variable actually contain the data type. So for example, there are some basic types of data. So the integer and the declaration is int, and this is the example like x is equals to 124. So the usage is number without decimal point. So all the numbers that have no decimal point in between are called the integers. Now we have the next data type, which is float, and this is how we can declare it. This is the syntax, and this is the example like x is equals to 124.56, 124.56. So number with the decimal point. So all the numbers having decimal in between are called the floating point numbers. Then we have a string, and we declare it by using this keyword, which is str. So x is equals to hello world. So anything which is enclosed in the double quotation is called a string, and it's used for the text. Then we have a boolean. This is not a very basic data type, but we don't use it commonly. So boolean has this kind of declaration. This is its syntax, or the keyword bool, and x is equals to true or x is equals to false. So we are actually playing with the true and false values while we are using boolean data type, and they are used for the conditional statements. There is another data type which is called as none type, and the declaration is as none. So x is equals to none. So whenever you want an empty variable, we use this data type. Okay, now let's move on. So now the basic data types that we commonly use in Python language: integers and floats and strings. So these three are the commonly used data types in Python language. So integers are default for numbers, like z is equals to z is a variable. This is an assignment operator, and 5 divisible by 2. So the answer is 2, integer division. Then it comes to floats. So as I've discussed before, the numbers having decimal point in between them are called floating point, and then strings. So can use the double quotation or the single quotation to specify like ABC is equals to ABC. So we are going to perform all these examples, so don't worry. Unmatched can occur within the string. Like we are starting the word with the double quotation, mat, and then we are using this single quote and then enclosing this word with the double quotation. And then use triple double quote for multi-line strings. So we can use like double quotes 3 times for the multi-line strings. So string then contain both single and the double quote inside of them, and this is the example as you can see here. So now let's go back to our IDLE and perform all these examples. Okay, now let's perform some examples. We can check the data type of any variable, like x is equals to 5. And then we can check this by typing here type and then x. Sorry, I have to. So print and then type and then x. So it is showing that the class is integer type, and same we can do this for any floating point. So this is the simplest way you can find the data type of any variable in Python language by just a single command, and this is the simplest command ever. So now let's perform some examples, like if we are doing the multiplication of an integer with an integer. So like y is equals to 3 multiplied by 2, and then print y. So answer is 6. So now let's do an example of division. So which is like x divided by y. Z is equals to x divided by y. So x contains 5 and y contains 6. So this is the final answer. So z will contain the final result of x divided by y. So now just print C. So this is the answer. Now let's check the type of this answer. It must be the floating point number. So print type Z. So the class is floating point. In this example, we saw that if we are dividing two integers, but their answer can be a floating point number. Okay, now let's do an example of string type. So I'm declaring any variable containing string. So str1, and it will contain a string. So we can define the string by using the double quotes like hello world, right, and print str1 string 1, so hello world. And we can also use single quotes for declaring a string type variable. Now declare another variable which is str2, and you now use single quotes smart programmer, and then print str2. So now let's check its data type, whether it is a string or a character. So let's check its data type. Sorry, you have to take care of the spelling mistakes. Type and str2. So this is a string class. So we can easily use single or the double quote for declaring a string type variable. So I hope you have understand this lecture. So see you in the next lecture.